I'm going to show off the brand new Black Bay 58. And you know what? It definitely feels like the Black Bay 2.0. Let's get into it! Yes, and welcome to the Mad Watch Collector Show. And today is all about the brand Tudor. Now, from its release, the Black Bay 58 has been an absolute, a smash hit, hasn't it? One of the most popular divers of recent time. In actual fact, it is probably my favourite dive watch I've ever reviewed and ever owned. From the size, how it wears, the bezel action, ooh, and the great vintage vibes I get from it. Tudor have brought out many different releases of this watch. We've had a bronze 58, we've had a taupe silver 58, we've even had a gold Black Bay 58. But in 2025, Tudor released another 58, this time in a colour nobody was asking for. It's the Vampire Christopher Lee version. Yes, definitely not my cup of tea when it comes to colour combos. To me, the red bezel and red dial looked about as versatile as wearing a mankini at a wedding.
It's nice.
But people, I was blinded. Yes, blinded by that colour. Tudor didn't just release a Black Bay 58 with this red colour. It looks as though they essentially made a Black Bay 58 2.0. There have been minute, subtle differences that, to be fair, I've been crying out for the last 3 or 4 years. So what better person to compare a new Black Bay 58 than a watch enthusiast that has 2 of the old ones? Now, today's show is sponsored by BQ Watches, the #1 place to buy or sell luxury watches in the world. With a 14-day money-back guarantee, 2-year warranty, #1 on Trustpilot, and with a customer care service that is unrivaled, there really is no better place to buy and sell in 2025. At the end of the show, go and have a look on the website. You will find fantastic watches at competitive prices, with all of them having a bit of wiggle room to them. But if you're buying or selling and you don't know what to do, get on BQ. Right, let's show you this watch in person, shall we? Tell you what I think about it and compare it to my other Black Bay 58s. Give you my thoughts at the end, get my wife's thoughts at the end, and let's enter the world of red divers. I mean, do you know any other red divers out there? They've pretty much cornered the market. Are you Tudor Red ready? Let's go. So here it is, the 2025 Tudor Black Bay 58. I think they call it burgundy. This colour is not new to the brand. In actual fact, the very first Black Bay that came out in the 2015 reboot had a burgundy red bezel insert. This to me looks a bit deeper in the red. And you know what? I'm quite pleasantly surprised because the red on the dial isn't as shiny and sunbursty as what I saw on the pictures. However, it does to me feel as though the bezel insert is a bit shinier than my 2. And with this new 5-link bracelet, which I have to say is pretty special, it does elevate this watch to a sort of dress diver level and less of the tool watch level. Now, as I turn this around and have a deep look at this, I am noticing some subtle differences that I am liking. And actually in the metal, I take it back what I said about how much of a blood colour this watch looks. The red on the dial is deeper than I thought it would be, and in actual fact, it's pretty good. Quick spec check! Yes, very quick, because I feel like I've talked about these specifications about 60 times. 39mm case, a lovely thin 11.8mm thick, and that is with a boxed sapphire crystal on top. We've got 20mm lug width, and interestingly, the lug-to-lug measurement weighs in at 47.5mm. Now, if my memory serves me correct, the original Black Bay 58 has a lug-to-lug of 47.2. So yes, a very minute enlargement there. Are we going to see it when we compare this watch to the others? Now, the things I noticed straight away, well, firstly, the crown. This is a different crown to my Black Bay 58s without comparing them. I could see it a mile off, and it resembles more a Rolex crown than it does the Black Bay 58 crown. Just more of a rounded version. We do have a signed Tudor rose. This is to mimic those old Tudor Submariners. But another difference comes with the bezel. Now, yes, it still has an aluminium insert, but we now have prominent teeth for the grip. Doing that aesthetically, it does look a little bit closer to those old Tudor Submariners. I actually think the bezel grip is a little bit taller, which is going to help for twisting as well. But just those changes alone, for me, if I wasn't to be swayed by that red colour, this is a better Black Bay 58. Now you can buy this new with the oyster style bracelet and a T-fit clasp. You can get it on a rubber strap with solid end links with a T-fit clasp, or you can get it on this new 5-link bracelet, would you believe it, with a T-fit clasp. And it feels very nice. There is no jingly jangliness whatsoever. Definitely does remind me of a GMT Master 2's bracelet. This bracelet is pretty darn good.
Could you just click that like button, please? It really helps the channel. Thank you.
Now I think it's at this point we get in the Black Bay 58 OG, huh? Here she is. Been with me since 2020 and has been purring like a kitten ever since. Now I thought I'd play a little spot the difference game with you and put the watches side by side just for a few seconds without saying anything, just to see if you could spot any differences. We've mentioned the crown, and I think that is an improvement. And as you can see, the teeth on the bezel is far more prominent and wider apart. Big difference does come in the dial. The printed minute and hour track is the same. The Tudor Genève looks to be a bit bigger on the new one. We also only have 2 lines on the new one, which is something I really appreciate, because in my head, less text is more. It just looks so much better in design. Now maybe it's the light, but when it comes to the handset, it does look as though the hour snowflake hand on the new 58 looks just a little bit chunkier and definitely does stand out more from the dial. In actual fact, I think the minute hand has also been made a bit chunkier. Take a look at both watches seconds hand. On the original, we have a snowflake square lollipop. On the new one, we have a rounded circular lollipop. Now for me, I think it goes a little bit better with the circular indices on this dial. But in actual fact, this is something that Tudor have been doing on all master chronometer Black Bays. And if you do see a Black Bay with a circular lollipop as a seconds hand, you will know that this is one of the new master chronometers. Now if you look at these watches from the side, you will see that the new red 58's beveling on the sides of the lugs is just slightly thicker, and what that's going to do is going to make the watch look a little bit slimmer in profile, and that 0.3 of a millimeter just gives those lugs a little bit more refinement and elegance. It's only minute, but it can be seen. Now let's go back to the bezel. With the original, the coin edging is really fine and not very high, so the grip has never been phenomenal. However, the action, oh my God, I forgot how good this was. With the new one, not only are the teeth wider apart, but there's a little bit more height to it to help with grip. Oh my, that's lovely. I do think it's better. Also, unwinding the crown, it just feels more grippier than the original. It really does. 2 big upgrades for me that I wish they do on the original. Now the biggest change to this 3-hand Black Bay 58 is the engine inside. It's no longer a chronometer certified movement, it is a METAS movement. The movement is tested outside of the case and inside of the case. Not only that, but it is tested to 0 to +5 seconds a day at 2 different temperatures, 6 positions, and tested at 100% charge and at 33% charge. This movement has 65 hours of power reserve, which I think is 5 hours less than the Black Bay 58 OG, but it is also anti-magnetic to 15,000 Gauss. That's a lot of Gauss. It is a far superior movement, there's no doubt about it, and really, it's a kick in the butt to Omega, isn't it? Who pretty much come up with the METAS certification. For Omega to find out that not Rolex are doing it, but their little brother Tudor are doing it, that's gotta feel bad, isn't it?
Hello.
Now we come to the wearability. And on my 6.5-inch wrist, well, I knew it would look good. Even though it's this red colour, which is starting to grow on me, I have to say. Not enough to buy it, but still, the lugs just do hug the wrist that little bit more, even though the bracelet isn't sized wow, this will be comfortable. Does it make it look a bit more dressier? Yes, but it looks cool. Outside, the red still is not as bright as I thought. There is still good contrast between the indices, hands, and sunburst red. I wouldn't say it's the perfect summer watch, but it's nice to show off a bit of colour now and then. Okay, now the price of this watch. Now, believe it or not, my Tudor Black Bay 58 in 2020 cost £2,700 new. My, hasn't the watch world changed in price? Because in 2025, the Black Bay 58 OG is £3,550 new. To get a new master chronometer burgundy red 58 with this 5-link bracelet, it's £3,900. Now, I've got to admit, I have not seen this watch on a Tudor display or at an AD near me recently. Now, BQ are selling this for £4,500. That obviously reflects the scarcity of this watch at the minute. Whether there's any wiggle room to get them down a bit, I don't know. This is, in all intents and purposes, a brand new Tudor. We've still got stickers on the clasp and the case back. But at the minute, these watches are going above retail. But the big question is, did Tudor come up with a Black Bay 58 2.0? Yes, and it was disguised in a very red colour. Now, what I'm hoping for is that Tudor upgrades the Black Bay 58 OG with a master chronometer movement with a new bezel and crown. I possibly would consider selling both my 58s for the new one. But I'd love to know what your thoughts are, first of all, of the colour of this Black Bay 58, and second of all, if you are an owner of a 58, what do you think about the subtle changes? Would it be enough to make you sell yours and upgrade? It's definitely up for discussion. So hard being a watch enthusiast. So here it is, my wife's views on the new Black Bay 58 master chronometer. This looks a lot like a watch you have. In fact, you've got two of them, haven't you? It looks good, apart from the fact I'm getting evil vibes. Like this should be on the wrist of the devil, reminds me of blood, and just looks like a giant panic button. Well, it's safe to say the wife, probably prefers my Black Bay 58s. Red, like me, is just not her bag. Thank you so much for watching till the end. I will be sending this straight back to BQ Watches. It is on the website right now, and take a look at the other great Tudors that are for sale. And if you want to support the Mad Watch Collector even more, which be great if you did, we've now got a Patreon. Behind the scenes content, see the shows before anyone else, blooper reels, and get your name credited at the end of the show like these lovely people. But if I've got you for a few more minutes, you click this one. This is, well, phenomenal is the word that I like to use, but some people say magnifique. Other people say, it's all right. But go on, click it, you'll love it. Go on, click it. Click it.